Hi there, Bedtime Book Club friends. How are you? Welcome to Bedtime Book Club. I'm Miss Heather, and I'm so very glad you're here to read with me once again this week. We are a bedtime book club because you watching, my sweet kind friends. Yeah, you pick all of the books that I read. And I actually just had one of my sweet friends send me a list of like 6 books, and I had not heard of 3 of them. So they are on their way to me, and I can't wait to get these 3 new books to be sharing with you in the future. So thank you so much. If you have a book that you would love for me to read, please have your adult message me. And you can do that at the Children's Museum of Green Bay Facebook or Instagram. You can also do that at Books with Miss Heather on Instagram or on Facebook. And we get those messages, and we just love to hear from you. So go ahead and let me know what you would like me to read. Tonight's story is, in fact, a book request. And it is a new book to Bedtime Book Club, and it is called Hedgehog and Rabbit, The Scary Wind. And it's written by Pablo Albo. I've never heard of this book. And this month at the museum, we are learning all about elements. So we are learning about the earth and about the wind and about sun, and fire. So I cannot wait to have all of these fun books to share with you that talk about these things. So tonight we're going to talk about the wind. And of course, we want to thank our publisher for allowing us to share this with you. If you have a copy of this book, please go grab it so you can read along. It helps us to learn how to read as we're doing that. And if you don't have this book in your library, please consider adding it to your library because it is a fun book to be reading. Plus, my sweet kind friends, if you request books and it's your book, you know you're going to have it, right? And you can read along. So fun. Before we get started with tonight's story, I need to tell you something. I do. Other than the fact that I love that you love books as much as I do, I want to remind you how sweet and kind I think you are. Yeah, you. I think that you are amazing. I think that you are kind. I think that you are smart. And you know what else? There's not a single person in this world who is just like you. And I like you just the way you are. So please, my sweet kind friends, will you promise me something? Always be you. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Because again, I like you just the way you are. True story. Okay. Will you sing with me before we get started with tonight's story? Okay. If you're ready to read the story, clap your hands. If you're ready to read the story, clap your hands. If you're ready to read the story, then you'll really want to hurry. If you're ready to read the story, clap your hands. If you're ready to read the story, please sit down. If you're ready to read the story, please sit down. If you're ready to read the story, then you'll really want to hurry. If you're ready to read the story, please sit down. Excellent job singing, as always. Let's go ahead and get started with tonight's story, shall we? About Hedgehog and Rabbit and the Scary Wind. I opened up the book and I found this page of, man, it looks like lettuce. Lettuce on this page. Rabbits like lettuce, don't they? Yeah. The Scary Wind. Here we go. You ready? Hedgehog and Rabbit were in the garden. Rabbit was eating cabbages and Hedgehog was looking for snails. The wind began to play with a pile of leaves, and they swirled around in the air. Do you see Rabbit there eating the cabbages? Yep. And Hedgehog looking for the snails. So they were little cabbages. That was in the front of the book, not lettuce. Rabbit became very frightened. He screamed and he hid in a hollow tree trunk. Hedgehog hadn't seen the swirling leaves, but Rabbit's scream startled him, so he followed Rabbit into the log to see what was the matter. Another story about friendship. He's going to check on his friend, that hedgehog. Where do you think they are now? Yeah, they're in the log. Yeah. So it says, "What's wrong, Rabbit?" "I just saw a monster." "Was it a big monster?" "Oh, it was bigger than you and me together. And it was filthy and full of dirty and dry leaves. And it howled just like the wind. Ooh. That sounds terrifying." Were the leaves a monster? But Rabbit thinks that it is. The wind kept blowing the leaves, and some of them flew into the tree trunk where Rabbit and Hedgehog were hiding. "Oh no, here it comes!" shouted Rabbit, and he ran out one end of the hollow log without looking back. "Help!" yelled the Hedgehog, who hadn't seen anything, but was startled by Rabbit's commotion. Commotion, that's a new word. Do you know what commotion means? A bunch of ruckus, or that's another new word too. Just a lot of action, and startled and scared. Commotion. "Help!" yelled the Hedgehog, who hadn't seen anything but was startled by Rabbit's commotion. He ran out the other end of the hollow log. All his quills were standing on end. Pages are sticking together tonight. There we go. There we go. Rabbit ran and ran. He was so frightened. His powerful legs took him very far away and quickly. Then he stopped and thought, "Poor Hedgehog, I left him back there with that scary beast. I might have to go back. He might need my help." It's a very good idea. Very kind of Rabbit. Rabbit decided to head back to the hollow tree trunk. On the way, he thought that he would look more fierce if he covered himself in mud. Fierce means scary and mean. Yes, not to be messed with. He also tied 2 big branches on his head that looked like horns. What is he rolling in there, my sweet kind friends? Yeah. Making himself muddy. Wants to look fierce. Meanwhile, Hedgehog ran and ran until he found a little hole to hide in. Then he thought, "Oh, poor Rabbit. He might be in danger." Hedgehog decided to head back to the hollow tree. And on the way, he rolled in a pile of dry leaves so that they would stick to his quills. He also grabbed 2 big branches that looked like sharp claws. He's trying to hide himself too. What do you think is going to happen? They both are making themselves look like a disguise. So what do you think is going to happen when they meet each other? Let's find out. Did you guess this? Let's find out. Rabbit and Hedgehog got to the hollow tree trunk at the very same time, each coming from a different location. Hedgehog didn't recognize Rabbit because he was covered in mud, and he had 2 terrifying horns on his head. 1, 2. "Roar!" said Hedgehog to scare him away. And of course, Rabbit didn't recognize Hedgehog because the leaves were stuck to his quills, and the branches looked like giant claws. "Grrr!" said Rabbit and tried to scare him away. Yeah. Grrr. Fierce. Yeah. Yeah, they scared each other. Hedgehog pulled off his fake claws and he ran to the left, all his quills standing on end. As he ran, the leaves that were stuck to his quills fell off one by one. Rabbit threw off his false horns and he ran off to the right without looking back, frightened out of his wits. The mud that was stuck to him plopped off with each leap. Plop, 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 plop. Now, without his disguise, Rabbit got to the other side of the garden and saw that something was running towards him. Who's running towards him? Do you see? It's Hedgehog. Hedgehog! Thank heavens I found you. I thought that a monster with big claws had caught you. But don't worry. I think that we can make it back to the garden. I think I scared it away. Oh, Rabbit, I'm so glad to see you. I thought that a beast with big horns had eaten you up. It's a good job that I frightened it off. I don't think it'll be back. I scared it. So together, they went back to the garden. Rabbit went back to eating cabbages, but kept looking out of the corner of his eyes in case the beast returned. Hedgehog got back to hunting for snails, keeping his ears prickled in case anything tried to sneak up on him. What does this look like? The swirling wind, doesn't it? The wind kept on stirring up the leaves and swirling the dust on the road, blowing everything further away into the distance. Luckily for Hedgehog and Rabbit, the wind would not return to frighten them. The end of Hedgehog and Rabbit and the Scary Wind. What was your favorite part of this book? Mine was what really good friends they were to one another. We know that wind is not scary, right? Yeah, that was just in their imaginations. And sometimes when we hear the wind and making loud noise, especially when we're inside somewhere, it can seem a little scary, but it's not scary. It's just the wind. It's just the air moving around. But these two were such good friends to each other and were taking care of one another. And I think that that's pretty cool. Are you a good friend? Yeah, I thought so. You're a very good friend to me. And I hope that I'm a very good friend to you. Thank you so much for reading this book with me, my sweet, kind friends. Please make sure to like tonight's video. So that little thumbs up, go ahead and give that a like. It lets us know that you like the story and helps us to be able to continue to read these stories to you each week. Also subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when new videos are shown. We do them each and every Wednesday, but every once in a while I come across a book that I absolutely love and I just want to share it with you so you can find out that new content as well. Okay, sweet, kind friends, before you go to bed tonight, please make sure to put on your nice, warm, cozy jammies. Tonight, mine have tacos on them. I love tacos. Do you? And also, I love your smile with all of my heart. So please make sure to brush your teeth before you go to bed so you can have a nice white smile. Very pretty smile. Handsome. Yeah, perfect. And please, have the sweetest sleeps, my kind friends. I'm so glad you read with me tonight. True story. I'll see you next week, okay? All right. Sweet sleeps. Bye.